Hello and welcome to my Invisalign 10-week update. 10 weeks is significant for me because it's exactly halfway between the start and end of when they projected my Invisalign treatment was going to take. So I've got the first 10 trays all here. I got number 11 sitting ready and waiting. Where did I put it? I'm 11 ready to put in my mouth after I film this video. But I wanted to give an update because I've seen a lot of progress in my teeth over the course of the last 10 weeks. And I've noticed that looking at the projection again, as you can see here, the biggest change is happening on the bottom between week 11 and 13 or 11 and 14. So I'm coming across some of the most significant changes that are going to be hitting this bottom row of teeth. Reflections on the last 10 weeks really just consist of seeing such a dramatic change in the top really quickly, because that's not the area that was super overcrowded. There were just my two incisors here that were kind of flying out in their own separate direction. And then over time, those pretty much by week 5, I could already see that the left side was straightening out and the right side is basically a lot. It's not where it needs to be yet, but it's made so much progress in where it needs to end up that I can see that the canines have made room and those two front teeth have actually just had space to actually fully pull themselves straight. It's been very cool to see over time. I took progress pictures, of course, every single week, and I took them from different angles to try to get a gist of it. And you will notice that the upper ones just always seem to have that perfect arc from the get-go. I think I could already see it basically starting in week 6 or 7. It was just always super straight on the top. It just felt like it was really getting itself sorted out, which is really awesome. Because of the way that my teeth are overcrowded on the bottom, I was running into a lot of plaque buildup with the overcrowding on the sides here. So my dentist actually recommended after 8 weeks, I believe, when I was there for my last appointment, they were like, let's get another cleaning in there so we can get between your teeth and kind of scrape off the extra plaque, because even though I am brushing my teeth really, really well, the actual adhesive attachments, as well as just, being in the retainer all the time, having already quite sensitive teeth that are really susceptible to buildup, I just needed to get that. So that may be recommended for you as well. But I find that that was actually very helpful in the middle of my treatment, because then I wasn't going to end up with a bunch of cavities, hopefully at the end. Hopefully I don't have any, but my teeth are just really susceptible to that. Especially in BC, there's no fluoride in the water, so I'm solely getting my fluoride from my toothpaste, and that's it, which is not something I'm used to, because growing up I always had fluoride in the water, so I always was able to have that extra level of protection, which now I have to just be very aware of. I think the biggest thing that was made a bit easier by possibly having Invisalign during a pandemic is that I'm only working in the office 1 day a week, so I'm not really having to brush my teeth in a bunch of random places. I have had to brush my teeth at the office a couple of times. I'm not really brushing it in public, and then I'll always take my toothbrush and my floss and my toothpaste to a friend's house if I'm going to be there for an extended period of time. But I have found that just, to me, is a lot easier throughout the day instead of having to just do it in the middle of the workday every day, not from my house. So that is definitely a huge perk of doing this during the work from home era. It's just really exciting to see the updates, because I think the progress has been pretty phenomenal on the top. I don't know what to expect. I think my predictions, being exactly halfway through right now, are that it's not going to end exactly at 20 weeks because the bottom teeth here, my bite still doesn't hit. So I know a lot of the teeth are still moving in the back, but when I bite down, my teeth used to touch, and now they're touching in the front, but not at all in the back. Plus, these bottom ones are not centered here. I think it's still a little off to the side. So I think that is going to be what the tweaking is at the end of the 20 weeks. I think I'll get to 20 weeks, it'll be mostly straight. The top will look good, and the bottom, hopefully this one gets itself in line. But I think the main focus point after the 20 weeks is going to be on that, if anything. I feel like a lot of people end up having those extensions in their actual treatment, but I'll be fine if I'm not one of those people. But I feel like it is more typical, from what I've heard and what I've seen from other people's experiences, that you're more likely to end up having to take more time than the actual projected amount of trays, because of just obstacles like this that just tend to happen. Finally, I haven't found it particularly challenging to have to wear them for the time assigned. I know it's about 22 hours. I'd say on average I'm wearing them between 20 and 22 hours every day. 20 hours is very rare. I think I've only done that once in the last 10 weeks. I think I did that for a single day maybe, and I think it was because I was just eating slowly that day and I needed to, or there was something going on, or I had a procedure done. A couple days ago I had the dentist visit, right? So that was an extra hour that they were out of my mouth outside of eating, so that was probably closer to 21. But I really do try and stick to the timelines given, because I know that's the best way that I'm going to get the best results in the fastest amount of time. So yeah, I've slept with them every night, haven't forgotten them, and just always have them on me, always have them worn, and just try and keep them really clean, because I think after about 3 or 4 days, they start to get like a bit stained. And then fortunately, I'm changing them out every week instead of every 2. So I can just, clean them in the middle of the week after 4 or 5 days, and then it'll be fine. So it's kind of manageable in that sense. In terms of pain, it hasn't really been that painful. Okay. Taking them out has certainly gotten a lot better since that very first time. It's easier to manage now that I know what to expect. Sometimes it gets a little sore. The weirder thing that I've noticed is my teeth actually feel quite loose. Like when I was little and a tooth was about to fall off, like I can feel them like moving very heavily in their sockets and like clicking in my mouth, which the dentist didn't understand, but maybe some of you get what I'm saying. Like you can feel it clicking when you eat or move, because you can feel there's that extra little gap because it's shifting from where it was to where it's trying to go with the retainers. And they didn't seem to understand what I was talking about, but like it would click, like it would just like make that noise if I would kind of like eat or drink or do something with my like cheeks. So I think after I got past that, which was very heavy in week 9 and week 10, now it feels pretty much normal again at the end of week 10. So I think everything is fine. It's just they have to loosen up to shift to where they need to go. And that's just normal. It's just, I hadn't felt that since I was like losing my teeth as a child. So it was a little bit jarring at first, but it ended up feeling quite normal because I could tell that they were actually shifting in the right direction. Yeah, I think that's it for my update. This video hopefully will end up being less than 10 minutes. It's mostly just a documentation for me because I want to see like what's happened with it over time. I've definitely noticed that the incisors have been pulled down and my top is just like really, really good and really solid. Other people have noticed it as well. I'm in meetings during the day and just the retainers make it look super straight, obviously, because it just looks like a mouth guard. But people are noticing that they're actually getting a lot straighter and that like my face almost looks a bit different when I smile, in a good way, hopefully. And yeah, it's a really cool experience. I'm still glad I made this investment. Hopefully things go well. I see and hear a lot of horror stories, but for me so far, halfway through, everything is actually going quite well and according to plan. So hopefully we can keep this momentum up for the next 10 weeks. And I might share another update a little bit sooner. I was planning on filming one sooner, but then I realized like 10 weeks is like the soonest I wanted to make an update like this, because it didn't really even look different enough at 5 weeks to be able to justify a video. So this is the smile now, and I'm really happy with it. So I will see you in the next update video I make for this, if it's not sooner than the very end of the time I actually like get the final results. But yeah, it's been a good time, and thank you for watching. I hope this is actually kind of helpful. I know I watched a lot of these videos before I decided to get Invisalign, so if you're looking for like research purposes or just for someone who is wondering if it's worth it or not, I feel like so far in my experience, I will say it is. However, I did spend about 18 months saving for this investment because I knew that it was something I wanted to do and it was a hefty price. So yeah, just be prepared and just, commit to it and actually wear your trays. Nice little outro clip. I'm gonna put in tray number 11. Oh God, these top ones, look how straight this looks. Come on now, right? Like, are they done? Like, they should just be done. They're so straight, wow. Bottoms, let's see. Okay, this one, working itself inward. Love that. It's less poked out in the front. This one's probably gonna hurt now that I'm really thinking about this. There we go. Sometimes gotta bite down to get it in the right shot. Top one slide in super easily because the top is just, I feel like it's basically where it needs to be. Bottoms, gonna get tighter on here. I can already feel it, but we're going in the right direction. Yay!